All right, so we're going to have a little quick look around the new blend panel inside of Adobe Illustrator version 30.7. And I'm recording this on August the 3rd. That's 2026. But it's been trickling out the past few days anyway. By this time, just about everybody should have access to 30.7 of Adobe Illustrator. So in order to use this, we're going to have to, of course, create a blend. So the first thing I'm going to do is just change my fill to, I don't know, red. Why not? And there we go. So I'm not going to have any stroke on this, just fill. And then I'm going to locate my blend tool. And there's no real change to the blend tool itself. It works exactly the same. It's just when you edit a blend object that things get a little bit different because there's now a dedicated panel for that. So let's go ahead and pick out some shapes. Let's do a star this time because stars are fun. All right. So there's my little star there. And then let's make another little star right here. It'll be really fat. And we'll make a little tiny one right over there. Okay, so now that we've got these stars, we can, of course, move them around. We can also change their fill color and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and make this, I don't like that color. Let's use this orange. And then this one here, I'll change it to something even different. Maybe yellow, right? So we've got red, orange, and yellow here. Pretty good. And notice, of course, they're all rotated a bit differently. And if they're not, we can always select them and make sure that they are. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got my three different shapes, I can select my blend tool itself. And then all you have to do is select an object to create a blend, as it says right there. So click on that guy, then that one, and then the third one. And we can see it's created a blend and it's blended them all together. Now, of course, we can make any sorts of changes we want to any of these paths and anchor points and so on. Like if I choose my select tool here, we can make adjustments to how sharp the stars are. We can change the position of any of these anchor points in the blend. And we can also go through, of course, and convert these anchor points to smooth if we want to. And that's going to give us Bezier handles and everything. Now, my layer color for this is red, so it's really hard to see. What we're going to do is just double click on layer 2 here. And I can rename this to blends. And instead of light red, let's choose something that's going to work a bit better, like magenta. And now we can see the full thing here. I can change these anchors, these handles, and so on. All right, so there's my object, right? My blend object right there. Now, if we want to make changes to this, if I choose my blend, we can see that we have in the contextual taskbar the ability to edit the blend or expand the blend. If we choose edit blend, that is going to open up our blend panel, which I already have open and stacked over here. You can also go, of course, to window and you can find the new blend panel right here as well. So what do we have in the blend panel? We've got the ability, of course, to change the spacing. Right now it's on steps, but we can change it to distance and make adjustments to how many pixels are in between each little star. And notice as I'm using these sliders, right, everything's updating in real time, which is really nice. Or we could just say smooth, which it'll make a determination for us how it's going to all work, right? Let's go ahead and choose steps. I'm going to have a lot of different steps, so it's super smooth. I'm just going to max that out to 1000. And yeah, I mean, if we need to change any spacing, of course, this is where we can make adjustments to our anchor points and our objects and so on. You can also, of course, expand your blend object and just select the basic objects within each one, of course, adjusting its properties as well. So, for instance, if I wanted the star in the middle to have more points to it, there we go. I can do that, right? And of course, the two that are unmodified still have 5 points each. All right, so now that I've got this, I can look up here again. So we have things like changing the direction, which is kind of fun. This is really interesting. This is the ability to have an easing algorithm on there. So if anybody's coming from the world of Adobe Animate or After Effects or Premiere, you're probably familiar with easing. Or even other applications that are non-Adobe. Everything uses easing. So basically an ease out would mean that things kind of slow down as they get to the end. So if we change the ramp here, we can see how that affects how everything's distributed across here. And honestly, I think I have too many steps because it's really hard to see. There we go. So if we do it like this, there we go. Something like that, right? And we change the easing here. We can see how these things are displaced differently across our content here. Let's do there we go. Yeah, so there we go. So these are welcome, especially for those of us who are used to working with eases when it comes to animated content and so forth. So a lot of control right there. And then, of course, you have your appearance shift percentage. And you can see how that changes everything. And maybe I'll shift it to right about there. That's pretty cool. And pull the steps back up again. All right. In addition to that, we have spine control. So we can reverse our spine. And it's basically going to switch those last two objects back and forth across the spine, which is pretty nice. We also have quick actions to expand, and expand is going to generate all of these objects, all the different steps, 1,000 of them between each one, as individual items here. You can see that's a lot of paths that we've got, a lot of different objects. I'm going to undo that. And we can release. Release will just make it no longer a blend. It'll just be back to our 3 little objects, 3 elements. And yeah, this behaves just like any panel. So we can pull it around, we can collapse it, expand it, we can dock it with other stuff. It's just a panel in Illustrator, a native panel. So this is a nice improvement with the blend workflows. And like I mentioned, there's no real change to how you create a blend and how you edit it and how you deal with it with the blend tool itself. The big change is how you edit the blend properties. And we've got this nice, neat little panel for that now. So that's it for today.